and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is going on, Canes fam? I am Matty Ice. He is Caniacs, and this is Canes Calling Live. Caniacs, how you doing tonight?
It's FSU week. Feeling good.
Yeah,
I love it.
dude, this is
week.
a crazy week. It's FS Poo week.
Mhm.
It's we got college basketball starting tonight. Miami's literally playing right now. I have it off to the side, so if I get a little distracted tonight, it's not my fault.
Well, first off, who were they playing?
Man, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Canisius.
I know that's the only reason why I wanted to say that, because I
think
couldn't
it's
do it.
well. I heard the announcer say I think it's Canisius.
Okay.
So they're playing right now. We got Jazz coming on tonight. Chris was unable to come on tonight. He had a family emergency, so prayers to him, man. Hope
His
everything's
family,
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna do a little ACC basketball preview because we did a poll on Twitter and people said they wanted to see it. So I'm gonna burn through that and probably, I'm gonna try 15-20 minutes. It's gonna be a solo show. I mean, it always is, right? I'm gonna carry us during that time. And yeah, that's about it.
Just had to throw a little boom shakalaka in there. You're gonna do a preview.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And so, yeah, that's about it, right? Do we cover everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll talk about this game up in Hard Rock North this weekend and go for number 5.
Yeah. But before we get into that, I thought we could go into basketball, do this little ACC preview. Maybe then we can start talking about that matchup, and then we'll bring Jazz on eventually. Probably in like 20-30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll call it a day, man.
Call it a day. I'm down with that.
So, ACC basketball preview. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this is going to be off the top of my head. I have a couple things that I wrote down just because I'm a very forgetful person. ACC last year, 7 teams made the tourney. I think the story of what it was, though, was they did not perform well. They were 4-7 in the tournament. Florida State and Syracuse, I believe, were the only teams that won games in the tournament. Other 5 teams did not. Another storyline, though, is during the offseason, a lot of recruits left the ACC in general, and only a select few amount of teams brought in talent of equal or greater proportion. Not to mention, too, Roy Williams, head coach of UNC, retired. Coach K announced this is going to be his last year. And not to mention, too, there's a lot of coaches that are kind of getting up there in age. Jim Boeheim is 77. Our Coach L is 72.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Hamilton's getting up there as well. But I thought we could start this off by breaking them up into tiers, the teams, like where I see them finishing in the ACC, and then just dive into the actual teams a little bit here. So I would have Duke and UNC in a tier by themselves. I was even leaning towards putting Duke in their own tier, just
really?
because you don't want to read too much into the preseason, but they've looked really good, but we'll get into that in a bit. Then I have Louisville, FSU, and Virginia all together in one. And then next up, I have in the next tier Virginia Tech, Miami, Notre Dame, Syracuse, and NC State. And then I have Clemson and Georgia Tech together. A lot of people surprised Georgia Tech is, that low, but they had a lot of turnover, and we'll get into that later. Then I have Pitt, Boston College, and Wake down at the bottom. That really shouldn't be a surprise just based on who they lost and last year's, performance for those three teams as well. But let's start with Duke here a little bit. Coach K, I said it earlier, this is last year. They didn't make the team last year. They were a bubble team. I don't know if you remember. They couldn't play in the ACC tournament because of COVID. So they missed the tournament for the first time since 1995. They got some returners that I'm expecting a lot of good things from. Mark Williams, a big man. He definitely transformed his body. He's very mobile. He averaged 17 and 8 and 1.7 blocks over the team's last few games, and he looked really solid. He's going to take a step up this season. Wendell Moore, someone that I think is going to be contributing on both sides of the ball. He has a 7-foot wingspan, and he's only 6'5". So if that doesn't say anything, he's going to contribute a lot on both sides of the floor, and I think he's going to be the leader of this team. They bring in, some highly touted recruits who we'll get into, but and then Jeremy Roach as well, someone who was a top 25 player, another 5-star returning for his second year. Here's the thing. Duke is ranked 9th, and just based on those guys, I think that's kind of where they would be. But what kind of brings it over the top for me is Paolo Banchero. He was the second highest rated player in the class, incoming freshman. He is probably one of the most talented players I've ever seen come out of high school. I would put it, I don't want to hype him up too much, but I would put him in the same breath. I would say he's kind of that generational type guy.
Oh,
wow. The guy when people were like, oh, Zion's at Duke, LeBron obviously didn't go to college, but LeBron was the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I would put it. Same thing when Andrew Wiggins was in college as well. I would equate it to that. He has probably the most polished offensive game I have seen ever. Or in a long time at least. I'm only 27, so it's been a while. And they lost a couple guys, but I think they're really going to be solid this year. I think that by the end of the season, I would not be surprised if they're the number 1 ranked team going into postseason play.
Oh, wow.
My biggest question mark was probably what are you going to get from guard play? But just seeing how good Wendell Moore has looked really good in the exhibition games that I've seen, I think that this team is going to be really good. They play tonight. They play Kentucky, Kentucky was a team who struggled a little bit in their exhibition game. I think that Duke is going to go out there and I don't want to say beat the shit out of them, but I think they're going to play really well. And, they're going to be ranked pretty high after that game because Kentucky's ranked 10th. So,
okay.
And I think by far they're going to be the best team in the ACC.
Okay.
So the only thing that would really solidify it, Jordan Goldwire transferred out. He was someone best playmaker on their team, best defender. If he was there, I would be completely sold on this team. And I would have them as the best team in the country, probably. I don't want to just, heavily put it on Jordan Goldwire, but I think that he's that one piece from a guard standpoint that they're kind of missing. But let's move on. Obviously, I'm going to talk about these top teams a little more than the other ones.
Right.
North Carolina. I think the story is how good are these guards going to be? Caleb Love, RJ Davis, and Kerwin Walton, they're all rising sophomores. They all have to be more efficient offensively. Besides Kerwin Walton, he was actually pretty good as a freshman, one of the best shooters in the conference for sure. Armando Bacot, I expect him to be probably the best player on this team, and I think he's going to make all ACC first team. What are they going to get from guys like Leaky Black and other, role players? They bring in some transfers that I really like. Brady Manick from Oklahoma, a big guy that can stretch the floor. Dawson Garcia, another big guy that can stretch the floor and actually put the ball on the floor. I think they both bring them a unique perspective because I think that they had trouble spreading the floor a little bit, and I think it hurt their guards last season. But I definitely think that this team is, I would say, a top 15, if not top 10 team.
Okay, that's still good.
But we just have to see how things go.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. I know this is FSU Hate Week, but we're talking about FSU basketball. Yeah, we'll get into that. FSU basketball, they lost a lot. This is probably the most that Leonard Hamilton has lost in a good amount of time to the NBA and transfer portal. They bring in some good transfers, though. Caleb Mills, solid at Houston, great offensive player. They bring in a guy from Kentucky, Cameron Fletcher, who didn't really get a lot of playing time, but you know how that can go. Johnny Juzang was someone who transferred from Kentucky to UCLA. He didn't get a lot of burn at Kentucky. He had like 1 point a game, just like Cameron Fletcher. You never know with these guys. You know, Kentucky brings in a lot of high profile transfers, so you just don't know, you know? They bring in Matthew Cleveland, a 5-star top 25 player. He's definitely going to be a one and done type guy. Interested in seeing how he can develop. They also bring in another highly touted guy, Jalen Warley. He was a guy that was a border 5-star, great finisher, really good in the pick and roll. I think he's going to play immediately and has a chance to start as well. To me, it's going to come down to how good are these returners going to be. Guys like Anthony Polite, the transfer, also Caleb Mills. That's kind of the question mark. I think they're ranked number 19th right now, and that's kind of where I would have them. But I'm just not sure, you know, going forward. I kind of have to see more.
Right. That makes sense.
Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to the next team, Louisville. I really like Louisville. I like what they did in the transfer portal. They brought in a lot of guys. They returned 3 of their top 5 scorers. They lost David Johnson and Carlik Jones, but they brought in a bounty of transfers. You know, Jared West, a scrappy playmaking guard who plays on both sides. Noah Locke, who's a 3-point shooter from Florida. And then they also, I mean, they brought in Matt Cross from Miami too as well. Someone who, you know, we saw was a great rebounder and can play that small ball 4 and is a great shooter. I think that this team is going to be pretty solid. I definitely think they're going to make the tourney. I'm just not sure from there, if that makes sense. I'm a little bit more sold on FSU. But let's see. Virginia, that's the next one we got. I know I'm just like burning through these, man.
That's all right. Burn through.
Top 3 scores are gone. I think that this Virginia team takes a little bit of a step back. You know, it's kind of interesting when you look at this team. A few years ago, they lost to UMBC in the first round. They won the tourney the next year, and then the following tourney, because there was a tourney, the tourney got canceled 2 years ago or whatever. But in the last one, they lost in the first round again. So does that mean they're going to win the tourney this year? I don't know. Maybe. You never know.
Probably lose in the second round. Maybe.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It would be an improvement, right?
I don't know how this thing works. But yeah, as I mentioned, they lost their top 3 scorers. They lost. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this name. Thomas Walden Tensai. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Sure.
Decided to go play professionally overseas. They lost a few other transfers. Justin McCoy, who I thought was a nice high energy guy, a guy that didn't need plays drawn up for him. And he actually transferred to North Carolina. Forgot to mention him, but I really like him as well. This was a team that just was so good shooting wise from deep in the ACC, but they lost all of their shooters. They still have, you know, some returners. They still have Kihei Clark and Reese Beekman. I just don't know really what to expect from this team. I feel like they didn't really bring in. I think that their transfers were a little overhyped, the guys that they brought in. Jaden Gardner was someone who was 18. He put up 18 and 8 on 50% field goal. Not really much of a shooter. Can't really spread the floor with him, but a very strong finisher. Brought in Armand Franklin, who I kind of like. He's a good shooter from Indiana. But I just think that this roster is not going to compete with the other teams at the top of the ACC as well. Okay, let's move on. This is the category I have Miami in. So first up, I have Virginia Tech. They're 15-7, 9-4 in the ACC. I don't really think anyone picked them to finish this high. They were 4-0 versus AP top 25 teams last season. Kind of interesting. I would have had them higher if Tyrese Radford decided to stay. One of their top scorers, one of their better players, decided to transfer last minute. They brought in a few guys, Storm Murphy and another transfer from Clemson. I kind of see this team as being a bubble team, and I'm just not sure from there. Next up, Notre Dame. Man, dude, I'm like losing my voice right now.
Keep going. If you want to take a break, we can take a break.
Okay, Notre Dame is the next team we're going to talk about. This is the team that probably returns the most in terms of just the amount of players that they had in terms of rotation players and stuff. They returned 6 guys that average between 8 and 15 points. I'm sorry, 5 of them. Probably the best retention in the conference. Prentice Hub is back. He's a player to watch. He was all ACC third team last season. Jawan Durham left for the NBA. So who's going to be the next guy that's going to step up and be another, big guy that can dominate? And, that kind of feeds into, I think that Paul Atkinson is that guy that transferred from Yale, put up 18 and 7 for Yale. He has really soft touch. He's not someone who's super athletic, but he has really, really good footwork and just an array of post moves to score. The only thing is, I don't think he's the shot blocker that Jawan Durham was. 2 different players. Durham was a lot more athletic and mobile like that. And I think Paul Atkinson, while he is more skilled, that's just not his game, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I kind of see these guys probably as a bubble team. I would lean closer to like NIT maybe. You just don't know. I don't know how many teams I can realistically see making the tournament this season, because I do think it is going to be a down year as well.
Okay.
Next up, let's talk about your Miami Hurricanes. We're finally here. I don't think I have to tell you, they've been super underwhelming past 3 years. A lot of injuries, short-staffed. It was interesting, like comparing, like looking at them statistically and seeing how many games people played versus like other teams. It's just like so abnormal and weird. Obviously, they made a change in the training department, so hopefully this is resolved somewhat. They lose Earl Timberlake. Didn't play that many games. He only played 7 games. Chris Likes, he only played 2 games, transferred to Arkansas. Nasir Brooks, he was key. He was someone that started a lot of games for them. And Elijah Oleni transferred back to Stony Brook. Kind of weird. But with that being said, they returned their the top 3 out of 5 scores. I'm obviously not counting some of the players that only played, like 4 or 5 games, because you know what I mean. Cam McGusty, Anthony Walker, and Isaiah Wong. Isaiah Wong, took that step. Oh my God. His freshman year, he put up like 7 points a game, went up to 17 last season. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. I retweeted it. I was just
about to ask you that.
Oh my God. He has transformed his body. He's added like 3 inches to his vertical. He looks super athletic. I was watching part of the game. I'm obviously not watching it now, but he looks like he's taken another step up, and I'm not surprised. He's definitely going to be, in my mind, if he stays healthy and everything's good, knock on wood, I think he's going to be an all ACC first team player. And I mean, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if, he's competing to, be one of the leading scorers in college basketball.
That would be nice. When was the last time we had somebody like that?
Probably Jack McClinton or something, to be honest with you. He put up numbers. But yeah, they bring in Charlie Moore, Jordan Miller. Both of these guys I love. I wish they could have brought in a big, and I would be completely sold on them being a turning team. Charlie Moore is going to make Isaiah Wong's life so much easier, and just this offense is going to flow so much better. I've already seen it in the exhibition games and everything. We haven't had a playmaking guard. You could say Harlan Beverly is kind of that, but we needed another one to start alongside Isaiah Wong. And, he's definitely that savvy veteran as well. I really like Jordan Miller. He's someone who plays both sides of the floor, hustle player, great rebounder for his size. He's only like 6'7", but even in the game tonight I was watching, man, he gets up there and gets the ball. They also bring in the number 24 recruiting class. Obviously, this is more about this upcoming season, but I really like some of these guys that they brought in. Nassim Populaire, dude, Wooga. He put up 20 points in 20 minutes in one of the exhibitions
Wow.
games. I don't know who they were playing against. Like if
Right.
he was playing against the third team or like
Chipmunk
you know
State.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like with football,
Gotcha.
we don't know exactly who. Bensley, I'll tell you this. I talked to some of the guys on the Miami team, and they all, okay, I shouldn't say they all. A lot of them, when I asked them who's the guy like out of these freshmen that you like see, like who do you like essentially? Like who's one of the guys that you like? And they all tell me different reasons of who they like who for. They like all these incoming freshmen, but they all reference Bensley Joseph is going to be a leader on this team. He already is a leader. He's
Nice.
vocal on defense. He's got this like bulldog mentality. So I'm super interested to see what he can do. I don't know how much of an impact he'll make this season, but yeah, I see Miami as a border tourney team, NIT team.
That would be nice if they
Obviously,
could make the tourney.
yeah. I know we're getting close on time, so I'm gonna kind of run through these other ones a little quickly. These are kind of the lower tier teams as well. So NC State, they lose DJ Funderburk to the NBA. Devon Daniels is gone too, their other leading scorer. They got a couple of guys. I really like Manny Bates. He's probably one of the better defensive players in the conference, averaged 2.7 blocks per game last season. The only question mark with his game is his offensive game. He's kind of one of those guys that's a rim runner, and he's just going to finish at the rim. They need some of the young guys to step up for this team to be, a possible turning team.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really see it. I kind of see them around the 500 mark in ACC play. That's where they've been at the past few seasons, and that's kind of where I see them this season as well. Syracuse. A lot of people will be surprised I have Syracuse this low. This is one of the teams. Buddy Boeheim is back, 18 points a game. He was fourth in the ACC in scoring last season, and his brother transferred from Cornell to Syracuse. It's going to be the Boeheim Bros, man. I'm interested.
All right.
They bring in a top 25 recruit, Benny Williams. He's someone who he has the athletic ability to play right now. I think he's someone that just kind of has to get a little stronger and build his body. The thing is, they lost 6 out of their top 8 scorers. They lost a lot. They lost Dolezaj. Quincy Guerrier transferred to Oregon. Kadari Richmond transferred to Seton Hall. Alan Griffin as well left the program. If this is a team that makes it to the NCAA tournament, they can make some noise, but they just have to get there. Just because of the fact that they play that zone and a lot of people don't scout for that. So it's hard to prepare for that when you're in a tournament scenario, especially when your program is so built on that you recruit guys specifically for that. But yeah.
Kind of like Coach L's offense?
Yeah, a little bit. Clemson. Next up, they return 3 starters. Nick Honor, one of my favorite players. He's someone that's scrappy defender. Alamir Dawes is back, 9 points a game, 40% shooting from deep in his sophomore season. This is just one of those scenarios that I don't know if they brought in enough in comparison of what they lost. They lost Amir Sims to the NBA. He was one of their best scorers and probably their best defender. They lost 4 of their rotation pieces. I'm just not really sure what to expect from this team. I don't expect them making the tournament. The next one, this is going to be a surprise. Georgia Tech. They were a team that won the ACC championship last season. They're like, what the hell are you thinking, Matt? Why do you have them so low? Moses Wright, their all ACC first team player, left for the NBA. Someone who was their best offensive player probably and debatable of their best defensive player, but it doesn't matter because they also lost Jose Alvarado, who you could say was their best defensive player, a scrappy guard. And, they lost a lot of production just in those 2 guys for this team. You could say Jose Alvarado was probably the heart and soul of this team, especially defensively. and they retain some rotation pieces. I just don't see them, competing at a high level with this roster. But yeah, after that, let's see. We got Wake Forest. Oops. Oh man, it's dark down here, man. I gotta turn a light on. Wake Forest. They got a lot of rotation guys coming in. I just don't know how good these transfers are gonna be. I'm not really sold on them. They lost 3 of their top 5 scorers. I kind of see them at the bottom of the ACC again. They were 3-15 in the ACC last year. That's where I kind of see them at this year.
Same place, huh?
Yeah, Pitt. So a team that was 6-10 last season. They looked pretty good at the start of the season last year, but they lost a couple guys to transfers. They lost Tony. They lost Xavier Johnson. 3 other rotation players as well. I just don't see this team competing in the ACC at a high level. The last one, Boston College. Not really expecting that much from them. This roster is not really looking too good. They haven't made the tourney since 2008, 2009. Their top 4 scorers all transferred out. I just see them at the bottom of the ACC. I mean, your top 4 scorers all transferred out, and you're 2-11. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. All 4 of your top scorers transferred out. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Sorry, I haven't been able to read any of the comments because I had other stuff.
That's all right. So Anthony had a question. He said, I understand why some of these top basketball prospects go to schools they go to, but during their commitment on live TV, they say they want to make a difference. Then why not commit to a school that they can truly make a difference if they want to do that instead of going to a powerhouse like Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, or Gonzaga?
I understand. Hold on, let me read this as well.
Go ahead.
Here's what I would say. I don't blame. Here's the thing. In college basketball, if you want to get noticed, you have to play in a power conference, right?
Yeah.
You have to. I think the big thing is a lot of these guys build their draft stock in the tournament. Well, how are you going to make the tournament? I understand what you're saying, and I'm sure some of this is just speak of I want to make a difference and go to a certain school. I think it's more of they're trying to find their best route of getting to the NBA, and is that going to be going and playing for a team like Boston College in the ACC or a team like North Carolina or Duke, if you have the opportunity to do so. So I don't know. It's just kind of different. I totally get what you're saying though. But, oh man, I need some water. This is, woo!
Go ahead, because I like what, I'm going to butcher this dude's name. Banga Asafi? Thanks, man. I appreciate that really much.
Yeah,
he says, I don't understand why you don't subscribe to this channel.
I don't either, man.
I guess we should ask people to subscribe to the channel. That might help too.
I know.
But no, I appreciate it. Really do, man. Thank you very much.
Wouldn't it be funny if we asked people to subscribe and then all of a sudden we have thousands of subscribers?
Right. I'd be like, whoa, my ding ding, my phone will be going off all night. I'm down with that though. I'll turn it on sleep mode. Yeah,
I got you.
But no, dude, man. That's awesome. So let's just say when tournament starts, out of the ACC, how many teams do you see going to be in the tournament?
So usually there's around 6, 7. Probably out of bad years, it's 5. Just because of ACC bias. I think that it depends on how good those top tier teams are. I would probably if I was a betting man, I would say 6. So right now I would have as those 6, I mean Duke, UNC, Louisville, Virginia. I don't think Virginia's as in though as people are saying. Oh, FSU. Did I say FSU?
I
Sorry,
don't think you
Duke,
did.
UNC, Louisville, FSU would be like the four, and then like Virginia is like
So borderline
and
5
then
maybe or 6.
yeah. Well, no, and then two other teams that I just don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So one more quick question about college basketball, and I'll get off it.
Okay.
Because I know the other show you. By the way, if you guys haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe to the podcast Brick City Boys, where him and Tommy they break down all the conferences. Right yesterday, we just released the Big 12 preview.
Big 12.
We're getting ready to come up with the actual first episode with all the fun games and shenanigans. So make sure you're ready for that. So make sure you go to all your podcasts to get that. Also, you get your podcast to get all your Canes calling stuff too. So, but one more quick question: which conference do you think will have the most teams in the tournament?
Oh, that's a good question. So usually it's like the Big 20, Big 10. Dude, honestly, like I think the SEC is going to be really good this year. You look at like the Big 12, they have 3 teams in the top 8: Kansas, Baylor, and Texas. Outside of them, there's like Texas Tech should be solid. I just don't know how many other tourney teams are there. But if I had to guess, I really want to say the SEC just because like I think the SEC is getting really good at basketball. They're recruiting so well. They brought in like the most transfers. They're going to be really good this season. I would say I think there's going to be a bias though. I'll say probably Big 10.
Okay.
But you never know. There's always a bias to the ACC as well.
Gotcha.
No matter what. So it was a down year last year and 7 teams made it. So
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we go ahead and take a quick break? After that, let's see if Jazz is coming on. If not, we'll keep going with the rest of the show. What do you think about that?
Okay. Sounds good, man.
By the way, Matt, I got to say that was well done with the ACC breakdown.
Thanks, man.
I don't know who knows basketball more than you.
I don't know about that.
All right, then we're back. So get Jazz on. Wasn't there? Didn't you have like a hype sounds right? Or you want to save that for when she gets on?
Oh no, that's for when she comes on,
okay,
man.
Cool. No worries.
Yeah. That we got some over under. Yeah.
Cincinnati at number 2. Oh, I forgot to say hi to Max when he was in. Sorry, big maxed out show at the end of that. Also, your boy Caniacs is going to be on that show at about 7:45 Eastern? Yeah, I think that's what it is, or 9:45, whatever it is. It's after this one.
Yeah.
Because I'm confused with the time now because we don't change times. So it's whatever. But it is it is in an hour, 7:45.
You got some weirdos over there in Arizona.
We weird. We just don't. There's no sense in changing clocks for no damn reason. You don't get an extra hour of sleep. I mean,
can I just say something since we have some time? And I love the emoji you put on a Florida State. I just noticed that.
Just seen that? There you go,
dude. I was locked in on that thing, man.
You were locked in. I loved it.
Yeah. Did you see when Will Ferrell, like in the debate thing where like all in Old School, where they like ask some like question and he's like, well, that's like how I felt, man. I was just running that shit through.
There you go. But when you know.
I gotta say, man, like I gotta apologize, only to the kids because initially I was upset after the Georgia Tech game because I thought we should have came out and dominated, and we did, but we made so many mistakes. And this is a young team. I get that, but I was just frustrated in the moment of that. I'm glad that we had that performance against Georgia Tech and still won, and it wasn't against Florida State. Hopefully not against Florida State. If we had to have it once, I'd rather have it in that game than against Florida State, against your rival, right?
Right. Well, yeah, because you got to remember these are just kids. I mean, a lot of these first times games. I mean, what is it? 7 games into their career. So I mean, they're going to have mistakes, and it's not a trend. Like the fumbling is not a trend. I understand that Knighton runs a little loose with the ball. Hopefully, after this weekend, they'll tell him to tighten that up, and he won't do that anymore. But
it has been a point of emphasis in practice. That's what Gabby Urrutia and David Lake have been saying.
Yep, they actually been saying a lot. Did you just hear the one that they put out yesterday?
No.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of good stuff to say. Because David Lake actually, I wanted to talk about this. David Lake actually put out an article. I want to say it's insidethu.com. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is that correct? No, it's 24/7, right? David Lake and them, don't they
Inside the U.
Inside the U, right? Okay, I'm right.
Yeah, it's 247, but each school has like a website that's called something different.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but he said basically that Miami has the most productive trio in the country right now. The trio means quarterback, running back, and wide receiver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the second best trio in the country is Ohio State. So right now, our trio is out performing the other trios in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh. Oh, man. I did not see that. That's crazy.
Let's see. Oh, that's a question for her. Oh, and so he also had another interesting. PFF said that TVD had an average grade Saturday, mainly because he had 4 potential passes as turnovers.
That's I don't know how much I mean, I would definitely say that this, like, in the tier of like the last few games, this was probably the lowest one, but it doesn't mean he had a bad game. He had a good game. Yeah. Like, I would take that performance over like anything else we've seen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, he's just putting that ball. Sorry, I mean, I'm just getting off on Tyler Van Dyne shit right now, but man, the ball, the first touchdown he threw to Harley. I mean, how Harley caught that. I mean, there's no way that Harley saw that ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's Jazz.
Oh.
Let's move it. Let's see. How do we do that? I forgot how to do this. I think I remembered correctly.
Oh, man.
Oh,
you don't.
Where's she done gold? Oh, she's not doing video. Okay, that's cool. Jazz, can you hear us? You got her? Can you hear her? I can't hear her.
No. Oh, she might have just joined. Jazz? Oh my God, what is going on?
All kind of stuff coming. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hold on 1 second, bud. Sorry. I hit the wrong button. I was trying to hit Jazz. My bad. Call back in just a second, but I hit the wrong button. My bad. Oh, this is great. There we go. I got it back. I hit the wrong button trying to talk to Jazz.
Uh-oh.
Jazz, can you hear me? Oh, is that her?
Can you guys hear me?
There we go.
You guys can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I got you. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay. Yes, it's every time I'm trying to show my camera, it keeps cutting me out. That's why really? I've had to enter like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again.
Okay.
To show the camera, so I don't know if it'll cut me out, but.
Well, if it does, it does. We'll be all right. We can bring it back.
Oh.
It's magic.
Robert, can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Okay.
Well, am I not sharing the screen anymore?
No, you're good. It's okay. Just leave it. I just wanted to make sure. Hopefully, Miami only up by 6 against Canisius.
So we're waiting on Jazz. Let's see.
Well, I can run through these stats real quick.
She
has 12.
If she can't get video, that's fine. The audio's good enough. Jazz, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you guys. Yeah, it seems like every time I press my camera.
No worries. We don't need the camera, to be honest. It's all good. We would love to see you, but it is what it is, right?
Yep, exactly.
Well, Jazz, it's good to have you on again. We're excited to have you on.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So, It's FSU week. How pumped are you, Jazz?
Very. I cannot stand that school. Let me tell you. All the time, all I talk about is FSU, and my fiance just sits there and look at me like, what? Like, because she's not into like football like that, so she's just like, why do you hate that school so much? And I'm like, you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't.
It's history.
History. That's right.
Yeah. I gotta ask. So, as I was just browsing, the Miami Hurricane stuff that was going on, current events and whatnot, I ran across this thing from someone had posted, one of the FSU guys from Chop Chat. I don't know if you've ever heard of Chop Chat. This dude named Kelvin Hunt. He had posted and said that basically don't count out the Seminoles. Miami could have easily lost the 3 games that they've won. They had several calls go their way against NC State and Pitt. And Pitt was down late until they turned over the ball. And also he had said that Georgia Tech led Miami early in the 4th quarter and they had a chance to win that game. With that being said, I know he's an FSU fan, but I think that's a load of shit. Also, the other thing that I thought was funny, the whole thing I wanted to talk about is he had said this. He basically said, I'm sure Miami will make some plays on offense. That's what he was referencing. But I like the FSU defense against them. They throw the ball a lot, and that should allow the FSU defensive line to get pressure a good bit of the time. If the Noles can avoid the explosive touchdowns as they did against NC State, they have a good shot at winning this game outright. My thing is, TVD's been solid under pressure. Am I wrong here? 10 of 16, 164 yards, 3 touchdowns against NC State and Pitt when he was under pressure. I don't know what that number was against Georgia Tech. But what do you think of that, Jazz?
Well, they have a lot to say for a team that couldn't beat NC State, that couldn't beat Jacksonville State. So there's a lot of, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But they didn't beat NC State, the same team we beat. FSU they're gonna try to be confident team because that's their team, even when they know their team sucks. But
right.
I'm not necessarily worried, honestly. The only person I was a little concerned with FSU is Jermaine Johnson. And I know if he's going up against I know they're going to put him on the left and the right. They're going to test out which one he can dominate the most. So it's going to be Jared Williams or Nelson that he's going to be going up against. I know actually PFF has rated Jared Williams our best lineman so far this season. He's been really great, actually. Of course, he's a seventh year player, but he's been really great. I feel like, they may take Zion Nelson a little bit just to see how he does. But honestly, I watched him in Jacksonville State when they had the game winning, and they didn't get pressure on Jacksonville State's quarterback when he had that bomb against Brownlee. So in my head, it's just like, if their D-line is going to show up like that, TVD is going to drop like 5 touchdowns, especially if our receiver can catch the ball. I know Rambo had his, even though he's been elite for us, he's had his moments where he dropped passes, or even versus, I think it was Georgia Tech, where Keyshawn had dropped the easy pass because he can run, actually securing the ball. I feel like the team is going to show up because it's so just like expect to show up, I expect our team to show up, and even with Zenith fumbles, still won in the 4th quarter. I recall Georgia Tech in the 4th quarter. If they even score, I think we held them at point. So and
got a bad connection.
I just feel like our team.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're getting a little choppy.
Me?
A little bit, but it's really choppy. That's all right. Keep going. It's okay. Uh-oh. I wonder if it's better if she just calls the phone. Hey, Jazz, if you can hear, how about just calling the phone line? Might be better.
The number on the screen.
Yeah, the number. Text it to you.
Yeah, that actually would probably be better.
Ooh, almost gave my home phone number.
Well, guys, this is the part of the show that we edit out. Welcome.
Welcome. That's
And if you're
all right.
listening, and if you listen to the podcast version of this, you're not hearing this because we already edited it out.
That's right. I might not even edit it out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just how life goes when it's live. I almost said TV, but it's YouTube. You know, it's all good. But while we're waiting,
let's see what the score is of this. Miami up by 6.
Here we go. Let's see. What, you want to go ahead and do the promo real quick while we're waiting?
Let's just wait. Let's just wait till after. Okay. Do you really want to be talking about our?
No, not really. To be honest, yeah, no. Bad idea. Bad idea. Anyways.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we got you now.
Oh, you know, my Wi-Fi has been tripping today. I don't know what's going on.
That usually happens.
I apologize for that, guys.
Oh no, you're don't worry about it. It's okay.
You know, any other day is fine, but when I want to do a show, it won't let me be great. See that?
That's how it works usually.
It's probably an FSU fan plotting on me.
That's what it is.
I know. They heard you talking and they were like, "Oh God, shut her down, shut her down."
Exactly. Shut her down. That's it. That's funny right there.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
And I definitely forgot where I left off.
That's all right. We'll start a whole new one.
It's okay. Jazz, when you're looking at this game, though, obviously it's a big game. FSU Miami, it's always big no matter what the record is for both teams. But how big is this for recruiting? You know, all the Florida teams are having a down year. You're having a matchup with one of your biggest rivals, someone that you go toe-to-toe with recruits. And then also, too, just the fact of, like, how big is this just winning this game? Because your next 2 games are very winnable against Virginia Tech and Duke, and just finishing the season off with a solid record of 8-4 based on, you know, what happened in the first half of the season.
Right. Actually, ironically, I actually don't feel this game is as big as recruiting as it is for the actual Canes to get to the Coastal. To win the Coastal and get to the ACC championship. The reason why I say that is because the big time names that are coming to the game, other than Wesley, B is Shamar Stewart, I believe is going to be there. Who else? Kelly.
Mario.
And honestly, exactly. But I don't see those players ever going to FSU anyway. Other than you can probably make a case for Wesley, but I feel like Wesley is he would lean more towards UF than he would FSU. Wesley, if it wasn't.
Yeah, because Wesley just needs a cot with the boys. Yeah, Wesley just needs a cot at Coral Gables.
Exactly. And I doubt Shamar is not going to FSU.
Yeah.
And I doubt Kelly is even thinking of, like, yes, I get it. You know, people may think, you know, FSU maybe for Kelly, but I feel like if anything, if Miami's in a battle for Kelly, it would be with teams like, you know, LSU, like an SEC school, or possibly even Oregon. But I don't see FSU. Like, I just honestly, no offense, but a lot of their recruits are 3 stars that I just feel like a lot of their recruits are players we don't care for the most part. I feel like this is bigger for us because it'll keep the winning streak alive. I mean, that'll be 4 games this season. And then, like I said, the goal is to win out so that we can try to hope for, you know, North Carolina to beat Pitt, the other dominoes to fall so we can make it to the Coastal. It would be big time, not just for the program because of how, you know, bad we started the season, but also for the young guys like TVD and them. Just confidence, especially momentum going into next year. Like, yes, even if, let's say we do make it out to the Coastal, let's say, you know, we end up playing possibly, you know, Wake Forest or someone like that in the ACC championship, win or not win, regardless, try to hopefully, you know, make it to a bowl game. If we win, we hopefully win that. I just feel like the momentum going into next year, it's bigger. I feel like, especially with TVD, most likely will have the reins. I know Jay Garcia will probably try to battle, but because of TVD's experience now over Jay Garcia, most likely TVD will start next year, and that'll be the new fall, especially if Manny Diaz stays I feel like next year is going to be big time. I feel like that's where Manny Diaz, for the most part, would definitely, if he does end up staying, will definitely be on a hot seat, because now it's like, okay, well, now you have TVD, Rooster, and all these boys who got the experience from this year. So now you can't just start the season next year 2-4 again. Like, you can't do that. Like, like next year is going to be big time. So I feel like it's more important about winning out, continuing to win, hopefully get to the ACC championship, to a bowl game, and the momentum going into next year than it is about recruiting for FSU, especially their players. Because like I said, I mean, yes, it would be good if we went out. So players like Shamar Stewart, who he has us in his top 3, they can still consider us. But I mean, in regards to against FSU, I just don't see any of those players going to FSU. I don't see us wanting any really of FSU's players at this point in time. So I just feel like it's more big time of just winning out for us than it is for battling FSU with recruiting.
I got you.
Okay. Got you. So Jazz, we wanted to have you come on here, play a couple games. So we thought the first thing we could do, I don't know if you remember this, is play All Hype or Sounds Right. Let's do it.
All right.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite game show, All Hype or Sounds Right. With your favorite host, Matty Ice.
All right, Jazz, you already know the rules. All Hype, Sounds Right. You're going to tell us if something sounds right, sounds legit to you, or if it's all hype. So,
All right.
First one I got for you. FSU will be calling TVD Daddy by the end of the game.
Of course. Sounds right.
That's what I like that.
They're low-key doing it before the game. I saw a post where FSU fans said how TVD is going to be bombing them like Baghdad.
Yeah,
I saw that tweet. And I was like, wow.
I can't say the dude's name, but yes, I know the tweet. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yes, I mean, they already know.
They know what's coming. Okay, next one. We will only hear that annoying-ass war chant until the end of the first quarter. All Hyper Sounds Right.
Ooh, honestly, I feel like because it's FSU, I actually, okay, the only way I see this being a blowout where we won't hear that chant until towards the end of the first quarter, and that's it, where it's like a blowout like that, is like I said, if our O-line can give TVD time, versus players like Jermaine Johnson. If they cannot, let's say they struggle versus him, because let's be honest, I mean, I feel like that's the only true quality, well, other than Care, but he's their true quality NFL talent, especially coming from Georgia. I mean, he's great. I feel like, if they struggle versus him and TVD has to continuously throw under pressure, I feel like it'll be a closer ball game, and I feel like we will hear that annoying chant in the second half. However, if Zion Nelson or Jared can really step up and give, TVD just enough time, oh yes. Like that 50 burger last year, it may be a 60 burger. I mean, it may be a 70 burger, honestly, because TVD, like I said, I love De'Aaron King. I love everything he's done for UM. He's a great player, great overall person. TVD's, he's a weapon with passing that ball. I mean, he has an elite arm, and I just feel like they could open that playbook. And FSU secondary to me is really bad. So their main hope is for that D-line to do something. If that D-line cannot, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a 70 burger. So I'm going to say sound right.
All right. Go ahead.
Ooh, okay.
With all that, I'm going to say sound right.
Okay. Next one I got for you. So FSU is obviously more of a rush team when Jordan Travis is starting, right? I'm doing this assuming Jordan Travis is starting this game. I know he had the flu or whatever. I don't know. Allergies, whatever the hell it was. In the 3 games where Jordan Travis is a main QB, the wide receivers for Florida State, well, actually, no, the whole team averages 151 yards receiving. In the last 3 games, Charleston Rambo has been averaging 146 yards receiving. So, all hype sounds right. Charleston Rambo will have more receiving yards than FSU does as a whole.
Sound right.
Okay, let's do it. Mark it up.
They don't have anyone who can cover Rambo.
Yeah. Next one I got for you. That's funny. That's good shit. All right. Next one. Last one I have for you, Jazz.
Okay.
Miami will win this game and have 5 straight over FSU. Sounds right? All hype sounds right.
Sound right. Sound right. Of course.
I like it.
Oh yeah, 5 different quarterbacks. It's
There
happening.
you go. Well,
Okay.
Here's a little. Go ahead. Are you done?
Oh no. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say here's a little stat real quick we can throw out.
Oh, we got a stat of the week.
Yeah, I broke it out real quick. Just for FSU. So over the last 4 series, 17, 2018, 2019, 2020, Miami has averaged for all 3 games 378 yards per game over them 4 games. The most yards was by King, 517 yards against FSU last year.
Is that rushing and throwing together?
That's right? Total. Yeah, that's total. In 2017, when Malik hit the Langham, that we had 337 total yards. In 2018, when Kosi did our comeback, we had 306 total yards. 2019, when JW did his dominance, 353 yards, and King 517 yards. His play against FSU.
Oh wow, like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some.
Wow.
So with that trend, we should be doing about 600-700 yards this week.
Right.
We're gonna put up some UNC numbers, man. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Next thing we got for you, Jazz. We're gonna do some over under. Okay. I'm gonna have some certain stats that we'll go over, and you're gonna tell me if it's gonna be over under the mark that I set. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Miami will score over under 39.5 points. Miami hasn't done this since the UNC game, but to be honest with you, they probably should have done it against Georgia Tech, right? So over under 39.5 points against Florida State.
Over.
Okay. Is it like way over or just over?
It depends. I'm gonna keep saying I really think it depends on the FSU's D line. Like I said, if they can hold their own, it'll probably be just over 39. If they can't hold their own, it'll be way more. But I'm gonna say I expect because I really feel like that D line it's gonna make or break FSU. I still think we're gonna win regardless. However, because I just feel like we're just way more talented than they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel that the D line is. I expect them to show up because it is a game. FSU needs a big time win to save their recruiting purposes. They need a big time win, and it's at their field. And we do have young guys, as you can see, versus Georgia Tech with the 3 fumbles. I don't expect us to fumble, but we do have young guys. So I just feel like it depends on that D line. I'm gonna say honestly, I'm gonna say a little over 30. I'm gonna reach around like 45.
Okay. I respect that.
I'm gonna say around 45.
I respect that. All right. Next one I got for you. TVD over the last 3 games has been averaging 380 yards per game. So TVD will throw for over under 399.5 yards. So that would mean he throws for 400 or over. What do you think? Over under?
Ooh. Cool, that's a hard one. Because I really think it.
I went to the David Lake School of setting over unders.
I really think it depends on Rooster. So a lot of things that people don't realize is I feel like not only has the O-line done a really good job to help TBD, but also having a threat like Rooster and him having so many yards in our last 3 games, I feel like has also helped because now a lot of defenders have to focus on him. Mm-hmm. That also helps TBD. Now, I'm not sure how Rooster will do versus FSU's D-line. If Rooster can't, if he can't reach that 80 to 100 rushing yard clip, I would have to suspect TBD will have to throw a lot more. And if he does have to throw a lot more, I would say over. But if Rooster can do rooster things versus that D line, then I will go with under. I don't feel like TVD would need to throw 399. But at this point, I'm gonna say I can't stand FSU, but I'm gonna give them a little respect. I'm gonna say over, only because I feel like TVD will have to throw a lot versus FSU.
Okay. All right, next one. You referenced this in a couple of your answers, that FSU D line. They obviously got some playmakers. Jermaine Johnson, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Average 2.7 sacks a game. I think it's kind of comparable talent-wise to Pitt's defensive line. We gave up 3 sacks to Pitt. So the over-under is 2.5 sacks that we give up to FSU. What do you think? Over-under?
I love our O-line, and they have grown. I will say I'm going to give this to FSU and say over.
Okay.
I do feel like they will. And like I said, with them being on their home field, they're going to show up, and they need this. They're going to desperately need this like signature win for themselves. Not saying they're going to get it, because they won't. But they're going to show out. Like I expect them to show up. I expect. I'm going to say over, but not by a lot. I'm going to say 3, just like Pitt.
Okay.
You say 3? Okay, so just over that line. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one. Talking about a guy that you made an edit. You made that no-fly zone, right? That no-fly zone edit for Avonte, Cam, and James Williams, obviously. But this is specifically about Avonte. He played 27 snaps last week, made the most of them. He had a pick and some tackles. Avonte Williams will have over 34.5 snaps. Over under 34.5 snaps.
Over, because I'm not even sure if James is going to play or not.
Okay.
Right.
Because I know I have heard that in practice he was wincing a lot with his left shoulder, and to the point where they didn't even throw him any balls. So I'm not sure how that'll be by game time for what he'll play, because like I said, I don't want it to be a bubble situation where you're forcing a player out there with a hurt shoulder and he can't make tackles. Because then now you're just costing your team a game when you could just play Avonte a lot more. So I expect Avonte to, get a lot more play time.
Yeah, and James does like using that shoulder to tackle too. So I don't know if
Which probably it may be why it's
that's
hurting him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Which makes me value Cam a lot. And I feel like Cam is so underrated. But Cam is a great tackler. I actually I think he hasn't even missed a tackle yet. Cam is a sensational tackler.
This last week he got burnt for one, but that's all right.
It was one. Okay.
It was just, that one on that 71-yarder.
Was it confirmed that he did for sure that was a missed tackle?
I don't know if I see anything official, but I mean, if you look at it, but here's the thing too: if James Williams would have been true, you're right. All right, that's just old man talk. But no, I mean, the dude is. I mean, if he gets his hands on you, you're going down. You know what I'm saying? There's just no to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's just
a great tackler, man. And I appreciate that so much from him.
Oh, I know.
Oh, sure.
And we've been tasked
and he makes sure he wraps up.
Yeah, we've been tasked to come up with a name for the 3 boys too. So we gotta do some stuff for that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to come up with a name other than the no-fly zone. They want to come up with something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that no-fly zone was really old. I made that edit a while ago. I think.
No. I'm not talking about your edit at all. I'm just saying they love that edit. That was awesome. But they come up with like the 3 amigos.
They want like a nickname.
Yeah,
they want like a nickname like the Legion of Boom. You know what I mean? Like the old school, the Seahawks and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But anyways, let's move on.
Do it.
Next one, we're going to talk about another talented freshman. Leonard Taylor had 2.5 tackles for loss last week against Georgia Tech. I was debating where to set this line, but Leonard Taylor will have over under 1.5 tackles for loss against FSU this week. What do you think, Jazz?
Over.
Over? Okay.
Over. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, over. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Our D-line is going to eat. I expect our D-line to eat, especially Leonard Taylor in that middle. FSU's O-line is not that good. And I just feel like our D-line is much better. I expect our D-line. If our D-line cannot hold up versus them, then that's a problem, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I expect Leonard Taylor to really eat in that middle. Yeah.
Okay. Last one I got for you, Jazz. Over under. We see the turnover chain 1.5 times this game. We're forcing just under 1 a game. FSU averages about 2 a game. So I set that line like right in between. What do you think?
Over.
Okay.
Yeah, I have over on that.
What do you think? You think it's a couple picks? You think it's some fumbles? I mean, obviously they run the ball a lot with Travis is playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually think fumbles.
Okay.
Now, it may be a pick or so. Maybe at least one pick. I say at least one pick because I feel like Jordan Travis may be under pressure at certain instances and may throw a dumb pass.
He did that last time.
And then with having Avonte, Cam, and them back there, exactly, and having Avonte and Cam back there, they're going to take that. They're going to take that. So I think at least one pick, but I actually expect some fumbles, especially in practice. I know that our offense has been practicing not fumbling, but our defense also have been practicing forcing fumbles. And I know actually Keontre Smith forced a fumble on Arroyo in practice. So I see that. I see a lot more fumbling, especially because, like I said, we're going to have to tackle. FSU runs a lot, whether it's their quarterback and they have a really good running back group.
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to try to run a lot, especially because our defense struggles versus the run. So I expect our defense to tackle a lot, have to tackle a lot, and I expect them to try to force fumbles a lot. So I see a little bit more fumbles, maybe 2, but I see at least 1 pick. So I would say at least 3 turnovers in this game.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got you. So wrapping it all up and everything, previewing this game, what are your keys to the game? I know you referenced some of them. You referenced the tackling and, FSU's defensive line as well and everything. What are your keys to this game?
Our O-line has to stand their ground versus that D-line. I feel like that's number 1. We have to tackle on defense because FSU will run. And one thing we have to be ready for, they will do a lot of different, they're going to do a lot of trick plays. Like I said, I just don't feel like they're talented enough. And usually when a team isn't talented enough, they're going to try to use their brain. They're going to try to outsmart you, and I just feel like, and especially with our defense, a lot of times our defense runs really bad angles, which is why a lot of times they miss a lot of tackles. So I feel like FSU may try to play to that. A lot of different trick plays we have to be ready for, which like I said, it's going to result to a lot of running regardless. But I just feel like our O-line has to step up. They have to be really great in this game. They've been great these past few weeks, but I feel like they're going to have to be really great. They're going against NFL talent in Jermaine Johnson. Our defense is going to have to tackle. And for the most part, our receivers, they got to catch balls. Like those drops, I just feel like those drops can keep FSU in the game. And one thing you don't want to do, FSU isn't Georgia Tech where you can keep them in the game and, still slip on by and win. I feel like FSU in their home field, keeping them in the game. I mean, they almost beat Clemson. I mean, yes, they had that ridiculous situation at the end of the game, but they almost beat Clemson. I mean, they were close to NC State. So a lot of their ball games, yes, they're losing, but they're not losing these ball games by a lot, especially which is shocking for the lack of talent they have. So, they're, like that's one thing I give credit to FSU. They're much better this year. So if you keep them in the ball game, they could, with that crowd, that home field advantage, that stadium gets loud. If you give them any hope, any chances, they can use that. So we have to do like last year. We have to blow them out. Like, I just feel like, I still think we can win with a close margin because I just feel like with TVD, I feel like it's coming of age for him. I feel like, he's showing the world that he's an elite quarterback. He can be an elite quarterback and a top NFL draft pick by next year. But I just feel like, so I think he's still going to win it for us. However, I just don't want to keep FSU in the game. That's just one team I feel like you don't want to keep in the game, especially on their field, especially with a losing record when they're trying to get a signature win. You just don't want to keep FSU. We got to blow them out. Like, we got to start fast and we can't be fumbling, dropping easy passes, none of those miscues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with that being said, what's your score prediction? We haven't even said ours yet, so maybe we'll just run through all of ours real quick.
Yeah, we can run
What's
through
yours
them all
though
real
first,
quick.
Jazz?
Oh, my score prediction. Okay. Logically, okay, I'm gonna be logical. Logically, I'm gonna say 45-20. I'm
Okay.
gonna give it around 45-20. And it's not even a more so on our side. I actually think our defense is going to step up in this game. I know we've been talking about our offense and how TVD is going to throw bombs and this and that. I actually think our defense, I know GB3, Amari Carter, Nesta, and them boys, they're undefeated versus FSU, and they're going to continue that. They don't play when it comes to FSU, so I expect Nesta, GB3, even Amari Carter and them boys, to really show up. I just don't. I think the defense is going to show up and only, maybe 20 points that FSU may get. I would give it 45-20 logically, shall I say. Now,
Okay.
emotionally, I'm going for a blowout. I'm saying we drop it 70.
Like 70.
Honestly.
I like 70.
Oh my god, that's funny. What about you, Caniacs? What's your numbers? What you got?
I mean, I understand that it's FSU and Miami, one of the greatest rivalries of all college football. I mean, it's hard for people, I know there's a bunch of people that's going to want to argue about that, but to me, it'd always be the best one out there. I just see another ass whooping coming. I really do. I mean, I don't know about a 50 burger, but I'm like you. I see like a 45, 48, 17 to 20, something like that. I'll just go 45-17. How's that? I'll just throw that out there.
Well,
I do.
okay.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little closer. I'm concerned about Jordan Travis a little bit, to be honest with you, because, when he has played, I think it really elevates the team. He does play pretty well. The one thing that makes me feel good, though, is how our defense has been playing, especially our defensive line. We've been stopping the run a lot more of recent. This is what I'll say. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be 45-27.
That's close? Okay. Because I'm telling you, if Nesta and... God, I just drew a blank. 56.
Leonard Taylor
get out there.
Okay, you're old, we know.
I understand. That's why I have your youngins out here to help me out. But if those two get going, I just don't see them getting a lot of yardage. I really don't. I don't see it. Plus, Johnson, our transfer defensive end, he had a pretty solid game last week. And man, I just don't see them getting a lot of crazy. I see some fluke stuff going again. Like just some fluke things happening, just crazy. The games is like a wide left, wide right. There's something crazy is going to happen, but it's not going to be a close game. I don't think.
Yeah.
Same. I feel like something crazy is going to happen too.
They're going to have some like wonky ass fucking play that they run, and I'm just waiting for it of what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be
either
and it's going to get that crowd hyped, and they're going to be so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be so annoying.
Maddie, you scared me
for
a minute, man.
I know, dude. I hope it doesn't happen on special teams because
I don't even want
do we really?
to
I was
talk
going to say, do we want to talk about that?
How I feel.
anytime there's a fake punt or anything, like I feel like anytime someone's tried to fake punt on us in the past couple of years, like it's always gone well for the other team, right? Like I can't think of a time where we stopped. I can't think of a time when we stopped it, man.
No. But just like Roman Kane said on OBB, Pat key your bags.
Right?
Pat key your bags.
Oh my god.
Get him the hell out of here.
Oh.
Jazz, what are your plans for the game though? Are you gonna go to the game? Or are you gonna watch it somewhere or what?
Well, I'm watching it from home, but
okay.
Listen, I'm gonna have my TV ready. I got my drinks ready. Listen,
let's go.
Listen, every time
Twitter open.
No
Twitter
one,
open.
No one bothers me. I have Twitter open so I can tweet every 5 minutes about what's going on in the game.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm so happy. I can't wait until the Saturday. And then we have to hope North Carolina beats Pitt on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We're rooting for it.
We need them to beat Pitt. This is the one time I'm rooting for North Carolina because I cannot stand North Carolina, but this is the one time I root for them.
Right, but doesn't Pitt and Virginia still play? Yeah, doesn't Pitt and Virginia still play though?
Yes.
And who is Virginia playing this week?
I think so.
If I'm not mistaken, they should lose this week. Virginia?
Yeah, who did they play?
I think I had it, but I can't remember. Anyways,
can't
but you're right.
remember.
But we need somebody to beat Virginia this week, and Pitt, both of them. If they do, then we're good. But if not, I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
I think Virginia and Pitt do still play together. So whoever doesn't win this
Oh,
time
yeah.
needs to lose that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I mean, Wake.
Wow,
Wake
that'd be
Forest,
crazy if we make it.
Man, I mean, yeah, you want to talk about, and let's be honest. I mean, do we really want to fire Manny now? I mean, after what's going on, because we see some shit. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm kind of off the fire Manny train, but I'm still on the fire Blake James train. That what he did to Manny has got to go. Got to go. I mean, you can't do that. You backstabbed your own
with
program,
Blake,
man.
yes, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, 100% with Blake. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
With Manny, I feel like I'm 50-50. I do want him, like, I just want a really great coach. I feel like these young players, they had a really great coach, we can do wonders. And then at the
Mhm.
same time, I can't really say much because now Manny is winning. And it's like, that's the goal.
the players
goal
all
is to win. So
rallied.
it's like, I can't get mad, Exactly. Even the high school players love him. I mean, the college players seems like they rallied around him. They're winning, and I can't, get mad at a coach. I can't say fire him if they're winning, and then we do make it to the to the championship, ACC championship. What if we win and then we win the bowl game too? I mean, that's the goal. So it's just like, but then at the same time, I just hate how a lot of times we're not as prepared in our games, play calling, a lot of, we should have a standard where it's like, with the type of talent we have, we need to be dominating games. And it's just like a lot of times we're doing just enough to win. And I just feel like we have way better talent than that, and that's where it's unfortunate. Like I said, like the Georgia Tech game,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you can't come out saying you either need to play for Miami or get your ass kicked by Miami. And then you're not kicking anybody's ass. You know what I mean? And then you've been here 6 years. You've been here 6 years, and one of our worst positions in recruiting right now is linebacker. If we don't get Wesley or if we don't get them other ones, we're shit.
Do you guys
remember? It's bad.
This is random, but do you remember that whole thing of like, they had that hype video against Florida, and they tackled that like tackling dummy or whatever it was. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Trying to remember.
Do you remember that? I don't remember. It was like one of the players tackled it, and it was like a tackling like dummy that had like the FSU jersey, or no, sorry, the Florida jersey. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that at all. That's funny.
Yeah, they did not.
Remember.
Oh, you don't remember that? They did not use that thing to prepare for this season. I'll tell you what. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fun.
No, but in all actuality, they have gotten better. They definitely are swarming to the ball. After that initial contact, a lot better. But we'll see, man. They got to tackle this week.
I'll say this about FSPU though.
Yes,
they're like us. They need to hit the transfer portal pretty hard because they have a couple pieces there, but they don't have nowhere near all the talent that we have. But like us, we're hurting so bad in certain positions that we got to go get our talent out of the portal. So, we still need some high school recruits, but man, we're going to have portal.
We switched Mark Pope to freaking quarterback. Like, that's how bad.
Well, obviously he didn't do real well in that because he transferred out too.
Yeah.
Just joking.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, so I got a question from chat here. So Ant-Man wants AO Ant Rant wants to know, what is the drink of choice for everyone? So when you're sitting down and watch the Cane, what's your drink of choice at the Jazz?
Henny.
Ooh, okay.
Hennessy.
And you can make it till the end of the game.
Especially for this FSU game.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. Listen. And that's why I'm doing it at home.
I got you. I understand. I got you. Yeah. What's yours, Matt? What's yours?
Gotta be.
I gotta go. I usually do a whiskey ginger ale. That's like my thing. I don't know why. That's always been my drink. I don't know why.
Have you tried Crown and ginger ale?
No, I have. Well, Crown Royale.
Yes.
Yeah, I have tried that. There's some specific. Okay, that one's good. I like what's that whiskey called? Is it like Bullet or something?
So you're a whiskey guy, basically.
I like whiskey. Yeah. But yeah, besides that, like, yeah, just maybe like a IPA or something. Like, but yeah, I definitely go the whiskey ginger ale. That's my drink, man.
Yeah, if I'm not drinking beer, which most of the time I'm just drinking beer, for the game, but if I go for a hard liquor, it's got to be Tanqueray and 10 and 7 Up. That's me. That's my thing, baby. I love it.
Damn.
I love
Okay.
Tanqueray. Mm-hmm. I love
Whatever
gin.
you say, man.
Not gin
Hey,
and juice
so-
though. Gin and 7 Up.
Jazz, if we do a Twitter space after the game, would you be down to join in on that?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
that'd be
definitely let
awesome.
You guys know.
Well,
Just
we
doing
we
it.
really appreciate
Now-
you coming on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Now, if we lose, no, I was saying now if we lose, you guys may not hear from me for a while.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
if
you-
we
you
lose, I'm
can't-
coming right
you
on here
can't-
live.
You
Not
can't
lying.
come in here and be like, no, we're gonna dominate and all this stuff, and then
Right.
be like, well, if we lose,
And then all of a
though,
sudden, wait,
come
where'd
on,
she go?
Jazz.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
We're going to hear crickets and jazz.
No, we're gonna win. We're gonna win for sure. For sure.
Okay.
We're gonna win.
Well,
Oh,
we'll
Henny
see you
and
on
Monster
Twitter then.
Energy. Let's
Okay.
go.
Oh my
Jazz,
god.
thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm glad you came on for this show, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to have you on again. Hopefully, we can have you on when Chris is
Of
back
course.
on again too. But he had emergency. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
again. We really
And,
appreciate it.
You let the people know where they can
Of
find
course,
you. too,
anytime.
Oh,
Jazz?
absolutely. I forgot about that. Yeah, let them know how to find you.
Oh yes. Twitter truly_jazz. Yeah. And same on Instagram. It's the same. Truly_jazz.
Oh yeah.
You guys follow me. Go ahead.
Let's go.
Yeah, 'cause
always a
she has
pleasure
some
talking to
dope
you,
ass
Jazz.
edits.
Oh hell yeah.
For
Oh,
real.
thanks, guys.
I love it.
Mhm.
I'm actually going to drop another one, possibly sometime next week for a 2023 recruit, big time recruit. Actually, probably our number
Okay.
one recruit that we're going after.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to drop that next week.
I'll be looking
Ooh,
for that.
I like it.
All right,
And he
Jazz,
is
you have.
for,
Oh, sorry.
well, he's a wide receiver, shall I say?
Oh,
No, it's okay. I was saying like, he is a wide receiver.
okay.
So you guys may know who that is for
Yeah,
2023.
I think I know who that is.
If not,
That's
I'll just
awesome.
go into the
I'm gonna
Discord
be-
chat and I'll find out soon.
Oh, you funny.
All right, Jazz, you have a great night, and let's go kick some FSU ass this weekend.
Hey, thanks, guys. You too.
I appreciate it. You have a good one.
Jeez.
Pat, what is up? That was so much fun.
Dude, that was awesome.
I love it. And the boys in
I
the
love
chat, man, they're going crazy tonight. I love it. I love going
I
back
know,
and
they're
forth with
funny.
them. That's crazy. I love it. Man, this went long.
I know. Should we get into our? We haven't even talked about our sponsor yet, man.
No, we have to do that real quick because I got to get off and go do another show in like 15 minutes.
I know. You want me to get into that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and
You want
start
me to
doing
start
that.
it off.
Yeah.
Support for Kane's Colin is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard me, that's right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free shipping worldwide with the code GOCANES at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by their performance. The craftsmanship and the details on the 4.0 are next level, man. Let me tell you, there's been so many stories. You know, we've talked about this multiple times. You know, you use that old razor you use for your face. It's all dull. You know, you cut that, you cut your little friends down there, and, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah.
episode of CSI all over, man.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys.
Because now that my boys are all nice and trimmed up, this upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock It also gives you the ability to turn on this 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for more precise shave. Because, sometimes it gets a little dark down there. I don't know about you. I just don't have lights from my floor flexing up. The Lawnmower 4.0 it even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it all wrong. No person wants to end up with the pubes in the mouth. So it's time to get your own ball hair and body trim with Manscaped to make the me time the best time to enhance your confidence with some nice smooth boys. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code GOCANES at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GOCANES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code GOCANES. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Always use them. Boy, what a show. I loved it. This is probably one of the funnest ones, to be honest.
Honestly, I love talking to Jazz. She like knows so much. She's just like a cool person, and I wish I could have seen her when I was in Miami, but it was just like there was so much going on and didn't really plan well. I stayed too far away from everyone.
Well, it was her birthday weekend too. So
yeah, it was her birthday weekend. So yeah. By the way, little update: Canes basketball is up by 10, 2:20 left in the second half.
Oh, let's go.
Agassi has 20. It's kind of been a rough shooting night for Wong. He's 3 of 10. Anthony Walker's got 14. But yeah, Charlie Moore he has a solid stat line: 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be someone. I'm telling you, like this season, I am going to be, it's going to be covered like no other. You remember like the past few seasons
yeah.
before when basketball was actually covered because, they were actually performing, making the tournament and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to change. I think that they're going to, turn this thing around this year. I really do, man.
I hope so. I hope we can at least make the tournament, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too. So, with that being said, man, I hear you have a show that you have to go do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go jump on Maxed Out over on Flo's channel. Here in about about 16, 17 minutes. That gives me time to go do what I gotta do before on there. So come on over there and join us. It's on Miami Flo channel. The show's Maxed Out. Come on over there and check us out.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
As always, check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe. Like dude said, subscribe. If you don't, just turn off your notifications. Just get our subscriber count out. Help us out a little bit. We're all Canes fans here. We're all Canes family. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're just trying to grow a little show. You know what I mean? We got some things planned. Matt and I have been talking behind the scenes. We got some funny stuff going. We're going to try to go more over back to our funny side and, leave the serious stuff for all the serious channels. Matt, you got anything you want to say, my brother?
No, man. I'm excited, to keep going with this, and excited that basketball season started. Because I'll be honest with you, I think that this season, I'm really hopeful about this season, and especially after talking to people involved with the program and everything, and just really looking forward to it, and just excited for the show in general, for everything new we're gonna bring.
I'm ready. I'm excited. And, you might want to turn this down. Go ahead. Turn this down. It's going to get ugly. I'm
excited for this weekend when we beat the living shit out of that team up north. It's going to be a bloodbath.
That's all I got to say. Guys, let's kick some FSU ass. It's all about to you. And we'll see you guys after the show on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Yo.